Could this be Harry's reason for wishing to return back here to the United Kingdom? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the heart of London. Thanks so much as ever for joining me today. Hope you're all keeping well. And this particular story, as we know, has run and run. But as ever here on the channel, we do like to delve in and find out some of the more inner truths than most other people. It's interesting, isn't it, with Harry and Meghan, because we were told, weren't we, that they didn't really like the United Kingdom. Apparently we've been all so nasty to them, and the media hated them, the social media was toxic. But suddenly then, out of nowhere, at the start of a brand new year, Harry decides, well, guess what, I wouldn't mind returning now, but I need some security because, it's so unsafe to come to England. What does that say about your home country when you publicly basically say that you're so terrified to return to your homeland, you need security? Well, it hasn't gone down well, as one can imagine, with the tourism board over here, like Visit Britain, Visit England, Visit London. It's not really good for them, particularly as we're coming out of this terrible pandemic, as we all are around the world, and we just really want to see a bigger influx of tourists back, not just in London but across the United Kingdom and Ireland and Scotland and Wales. Northern Ireland is a wonderful place, let me tell you, as is Wales. When people come, I'm just going off here, but when people do come to the United Kingdom, don't miss these places out. They are spectacular, and you go through the coastlines and all that sort of stuff, and you think, wow, what a place this is. And that's the reason, I think, why the United Kingdom has remained so popular for tourism. Well, of course, that is until Harry said you might need security, but let's not take any notice of him. However, was there a bigger picture attached to that particular statement? Because according to a very good source, and as ever, we always have to say those words, allegedly, but this is a very good, impeccable source. Prince Harry as ever, or should we say Meghan and Harry as ever, had more of a vested interest to return to the United Kingdom, and this could be it. It really all centres on the fact that, as we know, Harry and Meghan now have to make money outside of their new status, as it were, through deals of Netflix, Spotify, book deals, that sort of stuff. But Prince Harry himself is really trying to accumulate people that would have known his mother very well, people that he would like to sit down and have a chat with to give him a broader appeal. Let's not forget, of course, he was only 12 years old when he sadly lost his mother. So to write these chapters in a book, he's quite limited as a child, as one could imagine. According to that very good source, Prince Harry has basically found quite a few people, offbeat people we should say, that he wouldn't mind sitting down with. Let's not think that would of course be the former butler known as the Rock, Paul Burrell. Apparently he's certainly not in the equation, as are not people like former press officers who have written books and spoken to people publicly. But there are one or two people from Harry's early life that he would like to now reconnect with to get different memories of his mother. We're told that this particular chapter or section of the book, he's going to be very loving, very kind, of course, and naturally very respectful. And that could have been one of the reasons why. Now, I can imagine a lot of people watching this today say, well, why, Neil, does he simply not just pick up the phone and do that on digital? Well, one could only think about, of course, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's paranoia at such a lengthy chat. Would that chat be recorded? Would it be leaked? Could it be, secretly sort of downloaded? There's so many reasons in the world of digital. And I have to say, I agree with Harry and Meghan on this particular point, that once you put a screen up, then of course you've got to be careful where that may lead. But according, as I say, to that good source, that really was the bigger picture upon the return. And it does make perfect sense. But of course, why couldn't he simply say, well, I'm doing some research for my book, I'm going to go privately, and perhaps just turn up with a notepad or indeed his ghostwriter and sit down and do the hard graft? Why did it have to be turned into such a spectacular PR disaster, once again, for the former royals? As we often say here on the show, once I find out more, you'll know more. As ever, Neil Sean in the heart of London.